I've got a few guests joining me today. I've got Paul, I've got Nate, I've got Michael. They are part of the wonderful production happening at the Ghostlight, and that is The Minutes. And very excited to be talking with you guys. Paul, I know you're the executive director over there at the Ghostlight, and you get ready for a wonderful new season where you've got a lot of really great things going on. But this is the first show of the season, correct?
Yes, show number one. We're actually going to do 4 main stage and 1 young adult production in July, so 5 total this year.
And the Ghostlight is how old now? It's like a more than a toddler now. Oh yeah,
it's 5.
It's like
kindergarten. We're entering kindergarten.
So obviously the stage has had so many great shows, and this is just another wonderful one. When you guys put together seasons like this for the Ghostlight, before we get into this one, the minutes, what goes into that process?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have a board of directors. We've had different variances on a play reading committee, people that bring different ideas. But a lot of times we want to make sure we have good directors like Nate that we can attach to those projects that have, the passion behind the vehicle, right? So we're trying to do everything we can to bring in top-notch professionals, but also, a diverse population and have shows that appeal to a diverse audience.
Absolutely. And has Nate done shows here before?
This is his first time.
Oh man,
he may come back.
Nate, how did you get involved in the Ghostlight?
Yeah, actually through a mutual connection. A guy named Jonathan Berry, who's a good friend of Paul's, is also a good friend and mentor of mine. And so he had hooked us up actually a couple of years ago about possibly doing a show, and the timing just didn't quite work out. So it was really exciting when Paul came back to me with this one, and it was a great fit.
That's great. So tell us a little bit about The Minutes and what it's all about.
Yeah, so The Minutes is a dark comedy about a city council meeting in a small town that could be kind of anywhere in the plains middle section of America, some kind of a flyover kind of place. And it's about what happens when this small town is confronted with some new information about the kind of founding narrative of the place, and how they wrestle with the potential that the story that they've kind of built the whole identity of the town on might not actually be real. And it's I would say it's trying really hard to kind of balance the potential ridiculousness and mundanity of local government with like some really big questions about a lot of things happening in America right now.
Now, this play written by Tracy Letts, who I know writes quite a lot of stuff that people will see on Broadway, but a lot of times you see it first over in Chicago at the Steppenwolf. So this one's one of his fairly newest ones, right?
Yeah, if my memory is serving, it premiered at Steppenwolf in 2019 and then was in rehearsal to go on Broadway when COVID hit. I was actually in graduate school at Northwestern with Anna Shapiro, who directed the original production when she just started working on it. So it's kind of fun to be able to now work on it myself, because I feel like she was like just starting her own process on it when we were in class together. And so she was coming in every day with like little problems she was trying to solve and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun to be able to come back to it a couple of years later.
Did you steal some of the notes?
I mean, good artists always steal.
Sure. Yeah. Or maybe tap her for certain ideas and certain things like, hey, how did you deal with this? Or
yeah, exactly.
Here, that's cool. Wow. And then of course you have a great ensemble. This is of course a show that you need to have a good group of people in order to do this, because a lot goes on in this, right?
Yeah, it's a super ensemble show, and Michael being one of the wonderful ensemble. But almost the entire cast is on stage pretty much the entire show, and it happens in real time over the course of the council meeting. So it really is like a full ensemble piece. Sometimes people say it's an ensemble piece, but it doesn't really necessarily use everyone in the same way. And I think this is really one of those pieces where every single person on stage is moving the show forward in really, really compelling and dynamic and sometimes very ridiculous and absurd ways.
Michael, let's talk a little bit about you and your character. Have you done shows at the Ghostlight before?
Yeah, I've done a few. I started, a couple of years ago. I did a production of Significant Other, and just kind of stepped into a few roles at the same time, essentially. I think I played 3 or 4 of them. And over the summer, I participated in the collaboration with the Southwest Michigan Symphony Orchestra and Ghostlight to do Sound of Music. But yeah, this is a really exciting one to bring to the stage for sure. I've known Paul now for a few years, and it's exciting to be able to work in the town that I live in, and stage something this great. But yeah, just parroting what Nate said too, like it's a really, really solid ensemble. It's been a difficult rehearsal process in the form of breaking. And I'm definitely guilty of it. So I'll be biting my tongue come, Wednesday, Thursday for sure.
So how many city council meetings or town council meetings have you gone to in the surrounding community to prepare for this?
How much homework did I do?
Yeah.
It's funny, actually. We, as an ensemble, we have an email chain that's been going, and now it's kind of transformed into a text chain too, where all of these like YouTube video clips of the most just ridiculous city council meeting, moments, and I think there's one that's in there somewhere in the thread that's over an hour. It's an entire city council meeting that. So it's I guess the thing about these characters is that you kind of know all of them. Oh, that's that guy. Oh, that's that guy.
Sure.
So I'm gonna say I stuck to the video, so I'm not blowing a whistle on who's who. No,
well,
I didn't pick up that
Michael also has the advantage of the fact that his character is the newest elected member of the council and doesn't really understand what's going on, so he can just kind of wing it.
No,
that's right. Yeah. Kind of the outsider of it. Yeah.
And I'm sure with these characters, you're exactly right, Michael, is that you'll be able to, in any community, large or small, you'll be able to relate someone within those town councils to some of these characters, I'm sure. I mean, some of this stuff that's in the show may be a little more outlandish or crazy than most. But if you've ever been to a city council meeting or a town council meeting, they can be pretty comical and pretty all over the place sometimes. So I encourage people to check this all out. But we really want to see this show, The Minutes at the Ghostlight. So, what you guys have been working on this for how long, Nate?
We've been in rehearsals for about 5 weeks now. I've been working on this show for closer to 6 months, from when Paul first sort of brought it to me, and we started having conversations around design and what we thought the show was really about, and what kinds of people we needed for the cast and all that kind of work. So it's been a good solid, I think 6 months or so that the two of us have been in conversation about it. So
then it's all coming together and it's all ready to go for an opening weekend, which kicks off this weekend. Is that right?
Yeah, Thursday, April 18th.
Paul, give us some more details on this, because I know people are going to want to come see this, but we need to get some details. Of course, this season being kicked off with this show, you got some great sponsors we want to mention.
Yeah. I just had that up and then I sent it to you. So let me pull that up again. Yeah, we have 2 season sponsors I want to definitely tout, and that is Chicago Records Management and On Base Productions. As well as show sponsors for this one are B&L Information Systems and Forte Coffee. But I also want to mention a new partnership with our friends over at Bread Bar. Bread Bar and we have worked together for some of our Afterglows, First Friday Afterglows for years since we opened. But we are launching Thursday a first ever dinner plus show where they are offering early reservations for folks that want to get dinner before they come to the Ghostlight. And a prefix price of only $35 to include a 3-course meal. It's salads and 3 different entrees and a dessert, all for $35. So it's a pretty good deal. And so all you have to do is show your show ticket, go there the night of the event, or call ahead and get a reservation. They're holding tables for 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5, and 5:30. So that should give everybody ample time to get over here before the show starts at 7:30.
I love that. That's a great partnership, great food, good times, and being able to just scoot right down to the theater to see a great show. Dinner and a show is always a good time. So if we want to come see this show, tickets, I know the venue is intimate. I won't say small, because it is, I really enjoy seeing shows there. So if we want to come see this, how do we get tickets and get more details about this?
Yeah, ghostlightbh.com. The BH is for Benton Harbor. ghostlightbh.com, and the first thing you'll see is all 4 of our main stage shows, and you click on the minutes. It'll take you to a page where you decide on what day you want, and are you a general admission adult, senior, or student? And the tickets are $28, $25, or $20.
And shout out to some of the other shows that I'm sure are in the process of being worked on and all that. Of course, when we go see the minutes, I'm sure we're going to want to see not only that show again another time, but also see some of the other things on the season. So what do we got planned?
Yeah, the fact that you mentioned that, we have full season subscriptions still available through the end of the minutes. Obviously, we want you to purchase the full season, including the minutes. So up until the last day of the minutes, April 28th, you can purchase a discounted season subscription at any of those levels. General admission, they're $99 for 4 shows. Seniors are $80, I think, for 4 shows. And then you can use all 4 of those. You don't necessarily have to see all 4 shows. You could use 2-on-1, 1-and-1, or whatever you want to do. So it's a good deal if you get in on that discount and get your subscription. But the next show up is one I'm directing with Paige Mielek as our choreographer. We're doing a Steve Martin, Edie Brickell musical called Bright Star. I don't think it's been done around here, Johnny. Do you recollect? Maybe Kalamazoo, but
maybe Kalamazoo, or maybe somewhere in the northern Indiana region, possibly. But yeah, I can't recall one being in Southwest Michigan. So this will be fun.
Beautiful music. The challenge there is the mandolin and the banjo and the fiddle. So we're dialing in some great performers for that too. So that'll be June 13th through 23rd. As I mentioned, we have a young adults play production of She Kills Monsters. We're real excited about that for one weekend in July. And then we have Pippin, which is our first time collaborating with a long-term friend of mine next door, Laurie Lawrence Gist at the Citadel. So Laurie's going to direct, choreograph, and costume an awesome production of Pippin here throughout the month of August. And then we're bringing back Rocky Horror 2.0 in October because if you recall, we sold that out before we even opened last year. So
yeah.
A lot of people are still frustrated they didn't get a chance to see it. So we're bringing it back again.
Yeah, I think when I was going to set up an interview, you're like, oh, it's sold out. There's not even a point.
Hey, what are we interviewing? No, I'm kidding. I'm always happy to sit down and talk, but yeah.
I love chatting with you guys and looking forward to it. It's the minutes. It opens this weekend at the Ghostlight in Benton Harbor, Ghostlight BH, to get all the details. But thank you guys, as always, for taking some time to talk to me about the show.